Hello, greetings, happy Wednesday. Yes, right, we're in the middle of the week. Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. Things are really heating up around here. I don't know about you, but we are enjoying, we're only 9 degrees below freezing right now, 23. It's going to reach freezing, which at this point, relatively speaking, is warm. I'm actually going to take a walk later because my face won't freeze off at freezing. I noticed about 10 below freezing, my face will burn. But if it's freezing, I can handle that. I got the clothing for that. We're good. So I'm excited to take a walk later on and probably hit the gym as well. What are you doing these days in this season? Is it even cold where you are? And how does your exercise regimen change with the weather? I'm curious. I would love to know. I definitely feel it in the winter. I still go. I still exercise and whatever, but it definitely instinctively changes. Definitely. Okay. Whew. Well, let's see. What's the trivia point for today? On this day in 2004, that is 22 years ago, Facebook, originally called The Facebook, was launched by Mark Zuckerberg 22 years ago. Can you remember what you were doing 22 years ago? 2004. Actually, I can. And yeah, it was, I guess I was in law school, I think. Yeah, that's right. I was in law school. Crazy. It's just absolutely nuts to me that it's been that long. And, if you look at Facebook, the arc of Facebook, it was, remember MySpace? MySpace was all the rage. You had to have a MySpace page. It took off. It had millions and millions of users, and then it disappeared almost overnight. Foursquare, MySpace, these sites. And Facebook took over. And I don't know enough to know why it did so much better than the others. I'd have to study that more intensely. One thing I do know is that while Mark Zuckerberg is really easy to hate, he's clearly got some good instincts about how to grow his organization. And that is no endorsement of Mark Zuckerberg. But he's figured some stuff out, and it is you kind of have to take it all in one. You have to accept all of that about him, even though I question a lot of the decisions that he's made. It's hard not to marvel at what a gigantic and impactful organization he has built. So, with the help of many, okay, let's remember that. But Facebook was the social media site du jour, and then it's gone through a lot of iterations to the point where, clearly, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like spending much time on it. I think it's pretty much not a cesspool, but it's not X, but it's getting there. But that's why you got to innovate. So I was looking up some statistics to put all this in perspective about business success and failures. And according to the stats that I looked up, it says approximately, this is an AI summary of different sources, and I've looked at where the sources are. They include the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which, I mean, who knows, any federal agency's data at this point. Unfortunately, we can't necessarily trust it, but I would say this is probably still pretty good data. So approximately 20 to 25% of new businesses fail in their first year. So surviving 1 year, you're already in the top 75%. The failure rate rises to 50% by year 5 and over 65% by year 10. And in fact, and of course, cash flow being the biggest issue, of course, what's behind the cash flow issues, those are the actual issues. But the cash flow certainly reflects other things. But they say cash flow issues account for 82% of failures. Well, that's not that descriptive to me. Having faced cash flow issues in companies, there are reasons for those things happening. And it could be a massive market shift. It could be, losing a big contract. Why you lost a big contract. If you go into the root of that, may have other reasons that were fatal to your business, some which you could control, some which you could not control. Long-term outlook, almost 80% of businesses fail within 20 years. So if you've lasted 20 years, you are really in the elite class of the top 20%. I thought that was really, really interesting. I think I heard another statistic. I think it was Scott Galloway talking about how, I don't know, something like 7 out of 10 businesses fail. Maybe that's the stat he was raising over time. So that's why he started 8 or 9 of them, something like that. But the failure rate for new ventures, for startups, it's very high. And that's kind of part of our culture, because we recognize that you have to try a whole bunch of stuff in order to figure out where the real opportunity is. And so I think it's really important to keep these stats in mind, not to create fear, but to just accept that the most important thing is to remain loyal to your values and remain loyal to the concept that you are creating a company to help other people in some meaningful way. And then being very willing to make almost everything else fungible. Everything else is up for change. Change your brand, change your services, change your products, change your people. Gotta change. If you don't change, you definitely are going to hit a point at which the conditions on the outside has changed and your cash flow will be affected. Again, that's why I don't think the cash flow argument's very strong, because the reason for the cash flow problems, those are the real reasons. And remaining adaptable and open to feedback is critical. I'm looking at, not even a year into this current venture, and I'm having revelations about the positioning, about the branding, about the names, about alignment of all the different things that I'm doing. And I'm going to continue to iterate and change. And the change right now is going to be a little bit more rapid, but I don't have anything to lose because I'm not 10 years in. So if you're going to do the rapid shifts early on, it's a great time to do that as you're figuring it out, I think. In my experience, this is just my experience. So that you can get it right and not being stuck on any one particular thing. Other than the values, the values have got to remain consistent, I think. So that's kind of what's on my mind today. So don't be afraid to change. In fact, not only don't be afraid of it, embrace it. It's really, really important. All right. With that, I hope that helps you in whatever venture, whatever part of life you're in. And, as I always say, other than that, thanks for listening. Be good to yourself and others. Check back again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.